Welcome back to the channel. Well, if you've been following our recent progress on the Raptor, you will know that we are in the process of packaging up these Fox shocks and getting them rebuilt by Texas Shock Works. So today we're going to cover the process for filling out the form to get it sent to Texas Shock Works and the types of shipping material that you'll need to use. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to fill out the order form to get your existing Fox shocks rebuilt. There's also an option to get an exchange, but I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to actually send in my own shocks and have those refurbished. If you need any additional items replaced, such as your bushings, or you would like to include Schrader valves, or want upgraded seals, or you need any additional isolators, you can shop around. They've got several options available to you, so just look through their website and you should be able to get additional accessories for your shocks. So if you didn't know, Texas Shock Works actually has two locations, one in Texas and another in Arizona, so pick the closest location to you. It should reduce the shipping cost. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to fill that out. This is the Texas Shock Works Off-Road website at tswoffroad.com. I'm gonna go through the steps that I've chosen to get my shocks refurbished. You can select this menu here. It says shock rebuilding and tuning. There are a few different options you can choose. So in my case, I've chosen to send in my own shocks, and so they have this option for send in your own shocks. Now this is where they refurbish the set of shocks that you send in, and they will send you your exact pair back. I have the option to send it to two locations. One is in Texas and one is in Arizona. So here's the address for each of those two locations. If you scroll down to the bottom, here's where you can see the product options. And then you have three options. One is just to send in the front shocks for about $400 to $500. And the middle option here, which is the full set of shocks, this is the option that I've chosen, is about $800 to $1,000 before upgrades. And then the other option is just to get the rear shocks refurbished for $400 to $500 before upgrades. Go ahead and select your option. I'm going to choose order here. Now this is where you can choose a few different options. Now first you need to select your engine type. So I'm going to choose the 2014 6.2 liter with the car type being a Super Crew, and the front shock setting. Now this is if you want them to go ahead and move the perch position. You can go ahead and select that here and it will tell you the price for that service. In my case, I was already in the mid perch position, so I selected that option here, which was no charge. Now then they have a small list of options that you can choose from. They do have some seals, shock shaft refinishing, which is highly recommended. I have selected this one as well, and I believe it's free of charge right now, but may cost something in the future. I don't know. You can also get some upgraded seal kits, new main bushings, Texas Shock Works protective shock wrap, a new rear shock guards. Now those, I believe, are those black plastic pieces that cover the shaft, and then you can also select Schrader valves if you want to have that. All right, so here is the custom valve or custom valving. This will allow you three options: Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. I did not select this because I didn't want to have anything changed from stock. And then for the warranty, I just went to warranty declined. But you have some other warranty options here if you want to extend your warranty. All right, so then you get your summary. So depending on your options, the price can increase, but just for this basic service for all four shocks, it's $800. I'll go ahead and add to cart. Just make sure to review your order, and once you're satisfied, then you can go ahead and proceed to checkout. So once you have your order form filled out, be sure to print it out because you're going to need to include that in your crate. So Texas Shock Works requires that you send a large enough box to them because they only ship the shocks back to you in a fully extended form, which means you're going to need at least 30 inches. And they require them to be shipped in a hard box or crate, with hinges preferably. What we have here is a example. So this is a plastic box that you can purchase at Academy for about $30. It's some sort of crate by Plano, and it's big enough to hold all 4 shocks, and it's at least 30 inches on the inside. So this box has 4 latches, 2 on the side, 2 on the front. It also has the ability to roll. So on this side, we have 2 rolly wheels. Once you have all 4 shocks in there, it's actually quite heavy. So having the wheels is actually quite nice. So when you're sending in your shocks, be sure not to include the springs or the isolators. That's just gonna add extra weight. So I've got my shocks laid out, and each one has to be wrapped individually. So with the magic of editing, let's cut to that. Now that the wrapping's done, we're gonna put these shocks into the box. Just gonna put a layer in between to act as a buffer between the shocks. Next, I'm gonna be putting the front shocks in. I've added a little bit of wood because it is very likely that without this, that shaft could poke through. So I'm just keeping something on there so it doesn't bust through this crate. And this one has the same, just a little piece of wood that I've taped on to keep it from poking through. So now I just have to fill the void as best I can with other packing materials. Well, that's my final packaging. So we used all sorts of different packing materials. So I'm just gonna place my order form inside and close the box. Now this box does come with 3 holes, so I don't really have any like industrial size zip ties, but if you've got them, you can use them. I'm gonna put some really tiny ones in here. I'm just gonna double up. So next I'm gonna use this packing wrap. And this is usually used on pallets. It's a really heavy duty wrap. We're gonna wrap the entire box, and also then a little bit of heavy duty packing tape. You can use something like Gorilla Tape or duct tape. So the shocks are all packaged up. I'm ready to take this to FedEx tomorrow. So Texas Shock Works recommends using FedEx, and we're gonna be shipping using FedEx Freight. Once we have this weighed and shipped, we'll be attaching the label, and I'll give you the price at that point. I just dropped off the package at FedEx, and the dimensions came to 36 by 17 by 13 inches. The weight was 67.2 pounds. I added insurance, and the declared value was $900. The total shipping cost from Wichita Falls, Texas to Hutto, Texas was $109.99. So here are my costs for TSW Offroad. That was $800 plus $85 for return shipping. $73.01 of that is tax, which comes to $958.26. Now, if I include the cost of the FedEx shipping, the grand total comes to $1,068.25. That wraps up this video. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next one.